So, senior year is that same thing. What's up? What's up? Hey guys, so I'm back with another video. Ooh, I kind of swooped them a little bit. And I got my scarf on because I did my hair, and I be liking wearing my scarf. I like it. It's cute or whatever. So, I'm going to do my high school experience. Now, I just finished my freshman year in college, so I'm a sophomore, not college. But my high school experience was a little interesting. And I'll do a college experience, like my freshman year. If y'all want to see that, let me know down below. And like this video. So, make sure you subscribe to each grade, each year. Okay, so it was really interesting because I went to 2 different schools, and I was involved in like different activities. So 9th grade, it was really, really fun. I was like with all my friends and all my classes because it was like 9th grade. 9th grade, you're like having fun. It was like, So yeah, and then I did a musical that year. That was so fun. It was probably like one of the best experiences I had. But I was like, whoop. Zooey man. So I was with my friends a lot. So my grades weren't the best. Like they were good, but they weren't like Raine level grades. So, I was with my friends, playing around, not really taking stuff much serious. So my mom had me switch schools because of that, and it was fine. Well, no, I was mad at first, but the school that I ended up switching to is a performing arts high school, so I had to audition and stuff like that. So went through the auditioning process, and I ended up getting in, and it's really like selective, especially what I was auditioning for, and since I was coming in as a 10th grader, so it was really, really difficult. But I ended up getting in, so it was really sad for me and my friends because everybody, they thought I was like playing, like they thought I was kidding when I said I was like moving schools. I'm like, nah, I'm serious. So, yes, I ended up moving schools or whatever. I still stayed in contact with my friends, I think, for the most part, kind of. I was still involved in the same band at the other school, and that was my main high school thing. So everybody has their one thing that they're, like, really big on in high school, and my thing was band. This year was really, really fun because I had the best of both worlds. I was at a new school, I was performing arts or whatever, meeting new people, but I was also still hanging with my friends because they were in band or whatever. So I was going back and forth and stuff. It was really fun, really cool. 10th grade was fun. What happened that was like crazy 10th grade? Nothing. Like, I just did a lot of stuff. Like, I went to dances at both high schools. I just had like a whole bunch of fun that year. That was a really, really fun year. And then that summer after that year, that was so fun. I had so much fun with friends. That was summer 2016. So it was fire. It was a fire summer. But it was a fire summer, but at the same time, it was like a trend of me being focused solely on this org, like putting so much energy into it that my summers just went to that. I didn't, do stuff on my own. Like this summer I did, but like, yeah. So summer ends or whatever after 10th grade, so we're going into 11th grade, and some of my friends, quit the organization, either work on grades or because they weren't that happy in it. And I was fine, I should have stayed more in touch, but I was focused on that organization. Focusing on bettering the organization and bettering myself in the organization. That's what I was focused on. So, yeah. So, that, like, summer was fun or whatever, but going into my junior year, it was different because I had a leadership position or whatever. I was given one, but it was just this trend of people in this organization not respecting me as a person, and it was just like a lot of stuff. It caused a lot of stress, and I didn't realize that it was the org that was causing that stuff. And going into junior year, it was like weird because I'm a very open, friendly, nice person, and I love to be around new people and stuff like that. Like I could communicate with different people at different things and find something to talk about people. But my junior year, it was weird because I had friends, but not really. and they kind of separated like lunches and stuff. It was just really weird. So like I was like, oh, I don't know who I'm gonna sit with, like Raine about stuff like that. And different classes, I was in different classes and people, so I was just like, oh my goodness. But it was also how I didn't realize it until late, that how I was being treated in this org reflected on how I guess I carried myself, or like how I treated people. And I didn't treat people badly, but I went from being the open, happy, funny, friendly girl to being really quiet. And I didn't really understand that until like too late, basically. So that's how it was my junior year. I was really quiet, introverted, basically the opposite of what my real personality was. And I didn't mean to be like that. That's just how it was. That's how I felt, I guess. That's how people made me feel. That's how I was treated in the organization. So that's how I was more quiet and stuff like that. So it was, it was harder for me to make friends or whatever. And I always had people that I was cool with. Like, I always did no matter what. So that was fine. But I just did not, at my new school, it was just weird. But whenever I went back to the old school with the org, I had to put on this face. Since I was a person with a leadership position, I had to put on that face to, the people still did not treat me right, and they still, didn't care, they didn't listen, even though I was sacrificing everything. And this is my junior year. Junior year is like the most crucial year for high school. Like junior year, that's what colleges and stuff are going to look at the most, I had a lot of AP classes. I was doing that organization. And I kept talking about and thinking about joining. I was trying to join clubs. I was trying to do different organizations at my new school. But then it was always that little voice that was like, nah, don't do that. That was convincing me that I was an introvert when I really wasn't. That's what it was. It was like, wow. It was like, wow. So, that was junior year, basically. So, summer before senior year, I moved up even more. And I got a higher leadership position in this organization. And this is probably the worst year, like a combination of like junior year and summer before senior year. That was like the worst ever. It got even worse on the respect thing. To the point to where, people would even be like, they would say it blatantly, like, oh, I don't listen to you, I'm not listening to you, like stuff like that. And people would deliberately do things to make me feel crappy. And I still I'm still like, no, I need to stay in this org. I need to make sure it's a good experience for the younger people. I kept putting that over everything else. It was over my grades, over my mental health, over my emotional health, over everything, over SAT scores. I did address it when things would happen. I would address it, and then it would be multiple people trying to jump on me or argue with me and stuff. Or be like, okay, like listen, but then still do that same thing. That would be disrespectful. And it's like, I'm sacrificing everything. I'm putting blood, sweat, and tears into everything, and people still didn't respect me. They were still doing stuff. And basically alienated me and made me feel like, oh, you're not family. Even though I've been there for years. So it's like, how? It's like, how is that okay? How is that supposed to happen? So senior year is that same thing. Basically isolating myself from people. Still thinking I'm like an introvert, but I'm also like, okay, I'm also figuring out more stuff. Like I'm realizing that I'm having these feelings and these emotions because of this organization, because I'm allowing people to treat me in that way. Even though I try not to allow it to happen, even though I call it out like immediately when it happens, even though I try to do all those things, it still happens because I was still in that organization, because I'm still there, because I'm still sacrificing stuff. That's why it kept happening. That was me allowing it to happen, me staying there. And that's a big thing. You have to learn about people and boundaries. People only do what you allow them to do. So I didn't realize that I was, but I was allowing people to treat me crappy. And as soon as that happened, and as soon as nothing happened when I addressed it, that's when I should have been gone. So yeah, and there was like cool people at my new school, really cool people. Shout out to y'all. Cool was life. And then there were people that understood that that I was cool with, but I guess they did understand that I was more isolated, that I didn't want to be bothered all the time. But yeah, and it took me a while, but I figured it out after the fact when I ended up quitting. I didn't realize what was happening until I started having like a lot of intrusive thoughts. Like, I knew there was something wrong, but I didn't know what it was. Like, I knew I was sad, but I really didn't like know what it was for a long time. And I was just going through that for a minute. Like, my whole junior and senior years, I was trying to figure that out. And I would see things on Pinterest. I would see different quotes. That helped me a lot, just seeing that, seeing different social media, like Twitter and stuff like that, seeing people going through the same exact thing, where you felt alone, where you felt like you had no friends, where you felt like, where you have, like, thoughts making you think that people didn't like you. Like, I would always have these thoughts, like, oh, they don't like you. And it was, it was my voice, but it was always just, like, things like, oh, these people don't like you, don't say anything to them, don't talk to them, don't, things like that. And I hated that, but that's how it felt, so I always had to, I guess, try to seem strong or seem, just close myself off from people, because I was just scared to let people in to where they could hurt me, how these people have hurted me. So I ended up quitting the org, and that was like the last thing I ever wanted to do, because I've been doing it since I was like 12 years old. That was the last thing I wanted to do, but I got so fed up with the disrespect that I had to quit. I had to. At that point, I could not do it anymore. But anyways, yeah, that happened. I'm okay. I'm more okay now than I have been. I'm not all the way healed yet, because there's still stuff, that I have to figure out there. I definitely pushed a lot of people away, and I didn't mean to, but I never even communicated that this happened to them, so they didn't even know. They wouldn't even know about this. So, yeah, but I'm working on that stuff now. When I got to college, I got a lot better at, like, making friends. Like, I got my personality back, basically. I already isolated myself, but I really had to look at myself and think, how was I gonna, like, fall in love with myself? That's literally what I had to do. I had to really go deep down and think about all those things that happened to, like, try to tear me down. I had to reverse that, and I had to build myself back up. There's so many times that I, like, wish, like, what if, or I wish I quit or whatever a lot earlier, so I could enjoy more things, so I could have more experiences, so I wouldn't have to go through this. But, it happened. It's okay. I'm okay now. Like, thinking about it, I'm okay now. What happened, happened. I'm happy that, something like that happened in high school, where I was young, so that if somebody, tries to challenge me and my boundaries later, I know what to do. I know how to deal with a situation like that while still projecting self-love and self-confidence. So that's when I really realized that I was in love with myself. That's when I realized, when I was able to just be myself and not care what people thought about me. And I still work on it all the time, but I got to a point to where I didn't allow other people's opinions of me affect how I felt, because that doesn't have anything to do with me. That's all them. Yeah. Seems all sad and stuff. I'm happy now. I am happy. I'm focusing more on self-care and self-love. I'm still focusing on that all the time. And I can make another video going, like, deeper into it, like, I guess talking about friendships or talking about stuff like that. Because I touched on it a little bit, but I could go deeper. I can talk about, other things, other high school experiences. If y'all want that, just let me know. I'll do my college experience. It's a lot happier. But yeah, I made this video before, like, a week after I graduated from high school, and I was still very angry about the situation. I was so angry. And some days I still am, just thinking about it, but I'm just a lot better now. I don't feel any resentment or anything, I guess, now. I'm just like, okay, it happened. What can you do? And I'm just trying to move forward now with my life. Trying to chill. So, yeah. Let me know what you want to see down below. Give me some video requests. And I'll see you on my video next week. Bye. This John's about to die. Oh, okay. What's up? So...